Coffee Club, Coffee Club. Grind your beans and grab your favorite mug. It's Ollie, Morgan, George, and Gus. It's them boys from Coffee Club. Boys from Coffee Club.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coffee Club podcast for episode 147. Today, we are once again over the internet. I'm still up in St. Moritz. The boys are down in Zurich. We're making our way over to Paris, taking it one step at a time. First off, boys, how are the vibes down there? How's sea level feeling?
Pretty damn good. No, vibes are good. I was nice to get out of St. Moritz just for a little change. Yeah, like Morgan said, we're halfway to Paris. That's kind of the goal, and then nice to have a bit more variety in terms of food / coffee down here. We went to a Japanese restaurant last night and we're sitting on the floor. It was quite the experience, actually. In St. Moritz, we can literally only eat pizza, it seems like, or Italian food. There's like nothing else to eat, and no coffee, or very little, as discussed many times. But it was good ramen, right?
I was telling George during dinner, Sage and George were cooking up a sweat.
I was sweating so much. It was so spicy and so humid inside. It was like we were in this back little like room on like a little tatami room, I think is what they called it.
Mm-hmm.
With like a table like this high. Yard was struggling.
Yeah, Yard wasn't a
His
fan.
legs were like this.
He was not a fan of the seating arrangement.
He couldn't cross his legs.
But he got some tea, so he was okay. He had some tea and then some udon. But yeah, the food was like honestly probably the best ramen I've had in a long time. It was very good ramen. Okuri, I think it was called Ooki.
Or Uki or something.
Uki.
I think Zurich just has really good restaurants. I feel like I've never had like a bad experience somewhere.
Yeah, very good restaurants, very good coffee here. We tried a new place called Cafe Larel. Some new coffee place that opened up 2 weeks ago. Yeah, the vibes have been really nice. Weather's actually was pretty cloudy yesterday. It's sunny today. The only thing is that we'll go through the yard complaints. Number one, there's no AC in the rooms. Number two, we have to walk everywhere for everything. Number three, the coop is pretty small and the internet's not working at my place. So little setbacks, but
Yard's not loving it.
Yeah, but everyone else is having a really good time.
And he also has no windows.
Yeah, his room has well. He took the
he chose
the worst room because he felt bad for Mario and Mario's girlfriend because they were coming in to sit in the other room, and I took the other room, which I thought was the best room because I was there first. So
first and best
dressed. I mean, like, yeah. So, but it's
Fair
good
enough.
vibes here.
That sounds like
how's
Zurich.
St. Moritz?
St. Moritz, same old. The crew is getting smaller up here. Pretty chill morning. Kai took us up into the hills again today, and I was not feeling it. My legs were quite tired, so that was a bit rough. But no, it's actually still continued to be very nice here. Definitely best St. Moritz trip I think like we've ever had collectively, just mostly due to the weather, and I don't know what else, but I think the weather is a big part of it. But yeah, so this episode we have some big, very exciting topics to talk about. We have Olli getting his first Diamond League win, everything London Diamond League, in probably the craziest mile 1500 meter race that I've ever watched. And then looking forwards, we have some fun Olympic things to talk about. But before we do get into all that, super exciting. Our merch, number 2, or whatever you want to say it is out now. And head to coffeeclubpod.com to purchase it. The way that we're selling this one is we're doing a pre-sale model. So you can buy it or you can put your order in for 1 week only. It's available. Put your orders in, get your clothes, and then they'll get made pretty quickly and shipped out to you. And we're pretty excited to share this one with you because I think our last merch, like we were so happy with, this one is a bit more out there, I guess. It's a little bit different. These ones will be a little bit more expensive because like a little bit higher quality shirts made in the USA, all that good stuff. But we've been able to have a lot of fun with them. So our little collection, we have 2 t-shirts, 1 long sleeve and 1 hoodie, and it's all Olympic themed. So we've dived into the ancient Greek kind of mythological references with this one. I guess you can check them out on the website. The one I'm wearing right now, In Gus We Trust. We've got the nice myth of Sisyphus on there, and there's just a lot of fun references through them all. And
Syphilis?
uh, how do you say it?
I wasn't sure if it was syphilis.
I don't think that's the name of the. I think that's a different thing.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah,
All right,
Easy to get confused, though.
I got
Easy to get
distracted.
confused. Easy to get
Yeah.
confused.
That's an easy one to get mixed up. The
Yeah, it
syphilis.
is,
All right,
it is.
that's how I'm gonna remember that one though. That's syphilis T-shirt.
yeah.
The syphilis t-shirt. I should just say quickly, if you're watching the YouTube version of this, the only like kind of asterisk I have to put in is this dark brown of the one that I'm wearing right now, the In Gus We Trust. They ran out of this color, so it's actually gonna be more of like a light pink. So I just don't want anyone to like be like, oh, where's like the one that he's wearing right now? So you've been warned. But yeah, they all have fun references on them. We've had a lot of fun with them. So go check them out on the website. Put your order in, just 1 week only. Support the podcast, etc., etc. You know, just fun Olympic stuff. But yeah, that's how much. Check it out for 1 week only.
Yeah, definitely go get some of that. Morgs works super hard with the designers, so it's a pretty special collection, I would say. Very one of a kind shirts.
Yeah,
Yeah, you'll
Lots of
get you'll
fun.
get asked a lot. I think when you're out wearing it, where'd you get that shirt? So
It is the kind of shirt you'd get a question about
yeah,
Yep,
so.
for
yep.
sure.
And is it time? I think we have a nice little bean shout out. That's 1 week delayed.
1 week delayed from Monaco. Me and Yard were about to cool down, and we saw just coming out to us in the distance, coffee club shirt, excitement, and a beautiful bag of beans from a lovely person named Aline, I think. Oh, it's not. It's Alan with an I. Alain. Elaine. Is that correct? If not, I'm butchering your
Elaine
name as usual.
sounds like a woman's name, but I don't know.
It was a bloke that gave it to me though, so
Maybe it's Alan
it could be just Alan.
with an eye.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Alan with an I. But thank you so much for giving us this bag of beans. They are. Well, I'll read out the message anyway because it's a little short and it's very sweet. Dear Ollie, Morgan, George, and Gus, thank you for your endless hours of entertainment provided for my runs and for representing Australia and New Zealand so honorably all around the world. Please enjoy the best coffee on the Gold Coast from Blackboard Coffee Roasters. From Aline/Alan/Aladdin. Coffee club. You did a little coffee club thing with.
it's honestly a pretty good drawing of Gus.
Yeah, pretty sweet. This is the bag. It's a pretty sweet bag. It is from the Gold Coast, which is crazy. You got it from all the way from the Gold Coast to Monaco. Honestly, that was just so impressive. Me and George have both sampled this. Really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. It's always just an absolute pleasure to get a bag of beans from a fan. So very excited to continue to use them. And
All the way from Australia is really impressive. If they really did bring them to Monaco, that's
it's pretty
Top
amazing.
tier effort.
Yeah.
We love that.
do love to see that. Should we do one more shout out before we get into topics? This is once again episode 147, sponsored by our very good friends at Roll Recovery. We got the R8 Plus with us still in Europe, making the trip from. Now I've had it in Paris, St. Moritz, and Zurich. It's going on tour with me all summer, so that's been super fun. And we now have a discount code for everyone. Coffee Club 15, all caps, I believe. It'll be in the description, links, probably Instagram. You guys will find it. So use that on the website if you want to copy any of their products. We love the mat especially. That's a ideal product to use at the track every day, along with their rollers and everything. And yeah, just really cool company to support. We've had like a super close connection with Rolls since we started the team in 2020. When during COVID they had some extra office space and for a year, maybe like a year.
Yeah.
We were like using part of Roll Recovery as our gym space, which was really cool. So we had a super close partnership for a bit there, and in the early days of the OAC. So yeah, they've been part of the journey for a while. So yeah, go support them and use code Coffee Club 15 for 15% off. If that wasn't obvious.
Amazing. Shout out to Raw Recovery. Love those guys.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
love them.
So, taking a little trip
Is
back to this past
that's all the
weekend.
admin?
That's the preamble. I think that's it. It was a bit more today than normal, but we got through it, and now we can go into London, London, London. We hyped up this Diamond League. We knew it was going to be a big one. Final Diamond League heading into the Olympics, so some really good matchups to be had. See what everyone's form is before the big dance, and I think we hopped straight to the Emsley Car Mile because for us that was the highlight, and it was. I think it certainly lived up to the hype. I think I think probably the best way, Ollie, can we just hear it from your perspective? Because I think from the outside it was absolute madness. I can't even imagine what it was like to be in the thick of it. What was it like?
Yeah, it was. Tell you what, it was interesting. I mean, shout out to London. They always turn up. I think it was sold out stadium at the West Ham Stadium. 60,000, I think it was. And
That's
just
impressive.
before we went on, just to give you guys context, the women's 800 was on, and Keely just ran 154. I think Kat was in like the last position, and she ran 158. So it was an insane 800. So the crowd was already pretty hyped, pretty excited. The cool thing is, I think Yara last year ran the 1500 at London, but this was the MC Carmile, a lot of history around it. But there's a big book that they bring out in the call room, and every athlete in the mile has to sign that book. Big leather book, and every MC Carmile, everyone signs, regardless of where you finish. So you sign that book, which is pretty cool.
That's really cool.
That was pretty special. We went out on the track, nerves were pretty high, and we get to the line. They do their thing. We line up, and they held it for a very long time. Like we were on the line on your marks for a good amount of like maybe 10 seconds. It was long for maybe 10, 15 seconds. It was long for a mile start. Usually they put you on, you're kind of steady, and then all of a sudden the gun goes. But he held it for a while. And then in my experience, I thought I was going to get a good start. I kind of got knocked pretty badly, but I was able to stay up. And then all of a sudden, I kind of went back a little bit, and I just see the blue speed suit of Neil Gooley just face planting into the ground. Laros as well had gone down. I could see him. And then obviously watching the replay of the race, I saw that Gooley tried to get up, and George Mills just kneed him straight in the face, trying to hurdle him over. He had already hurdled Laros and tried to hurdle Neil. Was unsuccessful and kneed Neil in the face, and they both went down. Laros got straight back up. I mean, amazing run from him. Like, that's 2 falls in a row, back-to-back weeks at Diamond Leagues. He fell in Monaco and fell again in London. Yeah, honestly, that was one of the most impressive things I've seen. Is he got back up, got back on the pace, and then got fourth and ran 3:49. So that's no joke, and he should take a lot of confidence in that going into the Olympics for sure. It was very impressive. When that happens, it felt like a bit like a dream. It was very jarring. I tried to get on the outside, and then near the lead, and then
Were you like waiting for them? Did you like think another gun was going to go or
I
something?
thought someone was going to jump out in the track or something was going to happen.
Yeah.
But it was pretty devastating because it sucked. Like the top, like some of the three best guys in the field went down at the start. Laros, Neil Gooley, and George Mills went down. 2 of them Brits. So you can imagine the crowd, big booing, reaction, and then silence.
I mean, they're literally the 2 guys going to the Olympics in that event.
Yep.
For the UK.
Silence.
And they were like, fuck it, you're done.
And it was just dead silence. Stewie took the lead. I went behind Stewie, and then we just ran, and there was just silence.
That couldn't have been a better situation for you though.
Yeah, I mean,
hopping in right behind Stewie for like some pretty nice pacemaking up front. Like once you got through the trouble, that was as perfect as it could have been.
Yeah. No, I got pretty relaxed, and then Stewie slowed down on that third lap, and I was questioning going around him to keep pushing it. I went to his side for a little bit to try and he didn't want to relinquish the lead. He kind of went a little bit again, but it was still a bit slow, and I know the pack behind us caught up. So I thought, oh, I'll go 300 to go, and I went and just tried to stay relaxed. And then from 200 to go, I kind of didn't really kick because I thought that I'm going to need a kick in the last 50 meters. Like, surely they're going to come up and get me. And I was like, I wasn't sure who it was going to be. And I was like, if it's Nave, after Monaco, like, I don't want him to beat me. And it was Nave. He came up right next to me, 50 meters to go. And luckily, I was able to kind of go again a little bit and just dip him on the line. And he had a great race. He's really good at running that type of race, getting in that last 100 meters and being in a good position. So he's going to be a massive threat going into the Olympics for that. And looked up and won my first ever Diamond League, and it felt pretty jarring. Like, it felt like it was a bit of an asterisk on it because three of the top guys fell, and you obviously when you race, you want to race the best guys, and they all want to be upright and competing, and a win's a win.
That's sport, though, you know.
Yeah, a win's a win. You're gonna take it, but
Staying on your feet is part of it. You got to stay on your feet if you
yeah,
want to win.
I guess so. But it was a weird feeling afterwards because not that I felt guilty about it or anything like that, but it did seem like, it was a race where, like, if I won that race with Gourley trying to kick down and George Mills trying to kick down and I won, that would be a much more satisfying feeling. But end of the day, a win's a win. I won a Diamond League. Not many people can say that they have done that, and I've been wanting to win those since 2021. I think my first one was in Gateshead, and I got second. I've got a lot of seconds, a lot of thirds, and a lot of top 8 performances, but never will win. So I'm pretty happy about that. I got a cool little silver plate. I'm not silver, sorry, glass,
right?
glass plate
cool.
thing, and they took me over to the book again, and I got to sign my name as the winner, which was a pretty cool experience to do. Did a lot of media afterwards. I coined the term "we're runners, not wrestlers" because everyone was asking about the fall, and I just felt like I was like, oh, maybe they probably should have called it back. Like, they should have called it back. It sucked. But then we found out that the callback rule was only NCAA. In World Athletics terms, there's no callback. So that's what we've been told, apparently, because I know that Mills was obviously extremely frustrated. So was Neil, and Laros got up and ran 349, which was great. But I'm sure he was extremely frustrated after falling in Monaco. It's not what you want. But I think people looked into it, and apparently there is no rule about that, which sucks. But it is very, very annoying because the past 3 of the 4 Diamond League races have been falls. Eugene Hobbs Kessler didn't finish. There was a clip up. Cooper T was able to keep his feet and got a massive gash on his spike. I remember seeing that. There was a big fall in Monaco. Laros went down, and another fall in London, and it seems to be happening a lot, whether it's in the first 20 meters or
Even
in the race.
Oslo, no one fell, but Nave lost a shoe in the first 50 meters.
Yeah,
It's literally been the 1500 this year has been notorious for falls. Like, as far back as probably before, but remember every single heat at World Indoors, someone went down. Almost every single Diamond League this outdoor season in Europeans, like half the field was on the ground in European prelims. Like, all those people got put through. They're like, this has been a crazy year for falls in the 1500.
Elliot Giles and Josh Kerr fell in the 800.
I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah, I
I was
mean,
gonna say
Elliot Giles has been in a lot of falls.
Yeah, a lot of people were blaming him. Do you know, like, who is there someone that you could assign blame to for this fall, or was it just a collection of kind of people, like unavoidable almost?
We rewatched the video multiple times. I was with Cameron Miners. That's my new nickname for him because he's a miner. Cameron Miners, agent
really
JT. We watched the replay, and there is somebody at fault, and I think it is Giles, because I think Giles hits me and Laros. Laros goes down in front of Neil. Neil goes down. Neil tries to get up, and George goes down. However, I don't know if it's like Giles just clipped. It looked like Giles clipped Laros from behind, or he cut over, or cut in too soon. It just looked like it came from that area where Giles was at. But I mean, yeah, Giles has been involved in a lot of falls recently, so I think people are a bit annoyed about him. But I mean, it's unfortunately, it's. I think it's not necessarily that's the issue. I think maybe there's just too many people in the race. There's like 17. It's a lot. If it's
It's a
only
lot for a mile when you don't have the 110,
Yeah,
120 meters you
to
get
settle.
for a 1500. But
Yeah.
I honestly think, I want to say Europeans are way more likely to fall than races in America. Is that a hot take? Races in
There's
the
something
US,
about it.
I feel like runners are way less like aggressive or antsy in the first like 20 meters in the US. I thought Europeans, are, maybe I'm like calling them out here a bit. I reckon Europeans can be pretty aggro in the first like 30 meters.
I think there is something to say about that, but I don't want to particularly blame anyone. And like maybe Giles has just had some really bad luck, and same with Laros because Laros has gone down twice. But it seems like everyone's extremely aggressive in that first 100 meters to get position. But you watch the best guys like Jakob, Josh, a lot of those guys, they just try and wait it out, and then like on the 200-meter bit, whether it's the bend of the straight, they just make position there, and a lot of the rest of the field try and get to that position early, which obviously the earlier you get there, the easier you can settle in. Yeah, it's just been a lot of wrestling instead of running. But luckily, no one was hurt because when falls like that happen, you always consider like people can break their wrists or tear something or get slashed up by spikes. But fortunately, no one had any serious injuries. I'm pretty sure, so that's a really good positive out of it. But sucks for George Mills and
Neil
it
didn't
sucks
have a
for
concussion.
Neil Gooley. Oh well, Gooley got a knee in the face. He's a
Did
bit
he
bruised.
actually?
He
Like he
looked
actually
real
took a knee.
bad.
Yeah, yeah. He
Looked real
got
bad.
swollen around the sides,
Jeez.
and he doesn't blame George for that. I think George was just coming in another angle and he just tried to hurdle him, and Neil got up, and it was just what happens, and it just sucked for them. And I mean, you'd have to replay and watch the race again because from what I remember, I think Giles tries to come either behind Laros or next to him, and then Laros goes down. But yeah, it was such a messy start. Luckily, I was right in front of me too, so I was lucky not to go down as well. I got nudged pretty badly, but fortunately, was able to keep my feet. But I don't really want to. Yeah, you don't really want to blame anyone. It's just unfortunately it's a bit messy at the moment, and you just hope it doesn't happen at the Olympics. Imagine if the Olympic final, like rounds, people get sent in, but Olympic final, if a fall like that happens, top guys go down, people are going to be pretty upset because they don't get to see the race that they wanted to see. They just see a fall. So
Yeah. Well, that's my takeaway from not. Yeah. Hopefully, it doesn't happen in the Olympic final. But in the Diamond League, like whatever, there's no rule for a callback or something. Fuck the rules. Who gives a shit about whether there's a rule or not? Like this whole race is set up for people to run. There's 60,000 fans. There's your two Olympians in this event are running in the Olympics in like 2 weeks' time. You've got 17 people on the start line of a mile. Just as the starter, you just look around and say, all right, if something happens in the first 50 meters, I'm going to restart this race no matter what. Who gives a shit? Like, you do
100%.
it for the sport. You do it for the people that have come all this way to run this race. You do it for the 60,000 fans. Who gives? What are they going to do? Like, ban you from being a starter or like ban you from being an official because it wasn't in the rule book?
well, they should just
Maybe you are.
they should just put it in the rule book.
But fuck
People
that.
would love
I
you.
don't
People would love
understand
you.
why you wouldn't just do it for the sport.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't just put it in the rule book anyway.
Like in the Diamond League, it's like, hard luck. Like, no, fuck hard luck. Like, this is supposed to be entertaining. Now the race is significantly less entertaining for the majority of the fans because they're British fans and your two best British runners are lying on the track.
No,
And there's
100%.
athletes that put so
They
much
should probably
into
just
being there.
yeah.
Yeah, and because they wanted to put 17 people on the line, like, now there's been a fall. Like, that's not their fault. Maybe it's someone's fault, but yeah, that's my takeaway from it. But very cool, Ollie won. Good way to take advantage of some carnage.
Yeah. No, honestly, big win. It's a big fight
Yeah.
down there. The last 100. You mentioned Nordas, but also a few other heavy hitters fighting it down through that final stretch, and to come out on top, that's going to feel pretty good going into the Olympics. So all credit to you for that.
Thanks, boys.
And I think in
What are
terms
some
of
other highlights
distance,
from London?
the other one was the 3K, which had actually really good
That's pretty
battle,
sweet.
especially in the last lap between uh, Grant's. What's our nickname for Grant?
Grant Hunter, Fisher Hunter. I don't know.
Whatever it
I
is,
don't know if
him
we
and
ever.
yeah, that's crazy that we don't. I'm just thinking like that. He seems like
We just
so
had
obvious,
Grant.
but
Especially
Grant we
Fisher.
just had Grant's girls. We just had
Do you have
Grant.
hunting and fishing? The store in New Zealand? Is
Yeah.
that where you got that from?
Yeah.
Hunting and fishing?
but Grant's girls and Dominic
Hunting and
Labalu fighting on that last lap, and they were running really fast that last lap. I think their last 200 was 26 low or something like that. It was a really good 3K, just like well paced, lots of good, a good battle throughout it, as 3Ks in the Diamond League often are. Dominic Labalu winning his second Diamond League 3K, I believe, in 7:27, which is a very fast time. Grant not too far behind after doing a good amount of the leading. So looking great going into the Olympics. Big run from Sean McGordy. I think he clocked in a 7:32, which
McGoatee.
is not
7:32. Yeah, that's pretty good.
not bad at all. I saw Grant up here as well. Just a little fun fact: he's made his way up here. A few of the Americans have started filtering in here before they head down to Paris. But yeah, that was a sick race as well. But I think that was kind of it, at least in my memory, in terms of distance. So just a couple of sweet races. But yeah, I think that was it
I
for
mean, like
the
3Ks are cool.
London.
I'd
Yeah,
love to
and it
do a
was.
flat 3K at some point
You got to get in one. I think there's probably
in the Diamond
is there
League.
one
That'd
at
be sick.
Lausanne or is that it for the season?
Slencia.
Yeah, Jakob's running one in Poland, supposedly.
Silesia?
But it'll be
Oh
world
wow.
record attempt.
Probably going for the world record, if you had to guess.
Yeah, so it might not be as fun for you, George, to run
Yeah,
that.
I'm not gonna do
Let's
that.
let's all get in that one. That sounds fun. What's that? 720 pace, 59s, 58s. Shit, that's quick.
59's casual.
Maybe some 58s.
That is
No big
fucking
deal.
quick. Jeez.
Yeah, not some
What?
Americans went to Font Romeu though, as we were
I
just
saw that.
researching this morning. By,
I was shocked
social
by that
media.
though. No,
Mike Smith elite and Font Romeu.
that's
I don't know
crazy.
what
man.
I don't know what's there. I don't know why you'd choose that.
Probably a lot of wood to chop in front remote, do you reckon, Morgs?
I think it's a little more blue
Does seem
collar
quite foresty.
than St. Moritz. That's probably the main thing that it has
It's
going
Mike
for it.
Smith's.
Mike Smith's Warriors. I can't think of like why you would choose to go there. I mean, it's in
what's the name
France.
for Mike Smith's groups? Warriors, is it?
I just drew that one out there just because I don't know. They're in Font Romeu. Seems right.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Is it? It can't be that blue collar. It's got to be like still.
Yeah,
It's got to be kind of.
it's a ski
bougie still,
town.
doesn't it?
It's a ski town in Europe, so you're right.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I actually have no
I think
idea.
it's just that
None of
St.
us have
Moritz, I
ever
guess,
been,
is
so I don't know
the
why we're.
St. Moritz is the opposite of whatever blue collar is. So that's the only reference point there. But yeah, pretty random. They went there. I guess
Sure.
it's probably just a train ride away from Paris. I don't think it's close to Paris, but you probably can just hop on the train to get up there. So I guess it's probably a bit easier to
Can
travel,
you?
but I have no idea. I'm just making that up. I assume so.
I think it's like right next to Andorra.
Yeah.
I think you would like have to drive to Barcelona and fly. And maybe you
enough.
can take a train. That'd be a long freaking train. I have no clue. And we're all just guessing here.
Yeah. We should ask them.
Speaking of the Olympics though, you guys looking forward to those cardboard beds?
Yes.
Yes.
Are they the exact same as in Tokyo? Based on your
Yeah.
guys' experience?
They're incredibly comfy.
Yeah, they're the same.
Are they really?
Yeah. Ollie and I had no problems with them. We had a great time, right?
We did have a lovely time, considering Morgan had a broken pelvis at the time.
True.
He was okay with it, which honestly for me it was comfy. It was fine, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the idea of a cardboard bed sounds not right, but yeah, for whatever reason they work. Maybe they don't last quite as long as a regular wooden bed or whatever you want your bed to be made out of. But for the 2 week stint or less, whatever you're putting in on them at the Olympics, definitely get the job done. So I'm excited to return to those cardboard beds. Honestly, we were talking before the podcast, the Olympic hype is ramping up. We're very excited for. I think the three of us, I don't know, but I think we're a little bit like in our bubbles at this point, starting to really like zone in on the race, which means that we don't quite like expose ourselves to everything. Because, for example, my mom was telling me, she's like, "Oh, have you seen like all the videos of like people like entering the village and stuff?" I'm like, "No, I haven't seen any of it." But apparently, it's looking pretty sick out there. But in terms of the uh, the Olympic experience, I am excited to return to the dining hall and just have constant food available all day. That was one of my highlights in the last one. Uh, that's
And not
that's
having to cook
that's
it.
what yeah, that's what I'm very excited for. And just the vibes of the village, just like walking around and seeing like, friends and just other good athletes just out and about. I think I get in there on the first and I don't race until the seventh. So I'm gonna have a nice little stint there. Hopefully I don't get overwhelmed by all that village excitement. But yeah, what is it that you guys are most looking forward to in terms of your Olympic experience outside of the race itself?
Well, I have list. I this is my first one, so I don't know as much about what to expect, but
It's kind of our first one too because we didn't really have any. Like we were kind of in a bubble anyway.
COVID Olympics.
Yeah,
We had the coffee machine though.
Uh,
we did have a coffee machine. That was sweet.
oh yeah, I'm looking forward to infiltrating the Australian building for a flat white. That's gonna be my mission to try and convince them
Dude, they're
to make
real.
me
They're
coffee.
real serious about that. I think Ollie and I
Really?
both thought it wasn't that big of a deal. I think we were because I remember Joe wanted a coffee really bad, and no, they take that really seriously. They're like, we put all this money into getting this over here. Like, this is
Damn.
just for you guys. This is Team Australia. No black and white Team New Zealand allowed on the premises. But
I
we'll still
remember the
try to sneak you
Americans
on.
walking past, seeing. Yeah, I remember seeing all the Americans walking past with all the Aussies just being very snarky and arrogant with their cups of flat whites and cappuccinos and just rubbing it into everyone's faces. And
The keep cup was actually one of my favorite parts that you guys brought back.
yeah, the cup was pretty sweet.
Like that you got to go and
Yeah,
order it.
I
That
hope.
was cool.
I wonder if we'll get another one, but I guess we'll find out. I don't know what I'm looking forward to. Really, probably just to see my family. That's gonna be nice. My family gets to watch me run at the Olympics. I know Morg's family, George's family, are going to be there watching. Pretty exciting. I'm sure, you know, after all the years of us being overseas and being away from them, competing away from them, they get to come and watch us at one of the biggest events in the world. It's pretty cool. So, looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to the amount of TikTok dances and YouTube videos that people are going to be doing around the village. That's going to really annoy the shit out of me. But other than that, it's going to be great seeing people that I haven't seen in a while. Excited for all the athletes to compete and do their best and win medals, whatever. So I'm excited for that presence. I'm not excited for the TikTok
You
dancing.
don't want to go viral at the Olympics, bro?
No, I'd rather teabag a cactus. So no, but I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of people that we haven't seen in a while, and obviously, I think there's like a cool on house and Oakley house that are gonna be there. I'm cool to see
Mm,
that as well. Hopefully, hang out with Fred, my boy
true.
Fred Curley.
That's right, at the Oakley house.
Yeah, and hang out with Josh Kermit the Josh. But
And wait, the guy who looks just like Josh isn't actually sponsored by Oakley, right? The hurdler.
I don't know if
He just wears them.
maybe he is. I don't know.
Is that
I
guy
actually
sponsored
don't
by
know.
Oakley? You know,
Couldn't
like
tell you.
the
Could not
sprinter
tell you.
Josh Kerr, who looks exactly like him.
Yeah, not sure. But I hope I can hang out with Josh and ask who his social media person is because I'd love to hire them to do my content because he's been blowing up recently with his social media. And
Gotta give a
if I can
shout out
hire
to the
that person,
Discord. The Discord and we have a meme section on the Discord, and they were going so hard on Josh Kerr because I think is either his last caption or the one before it was about. I mean, all his captions essentially are the same, but this one was about working hard in the shadows, and it was just he was just getting roasted by everyone. They're just like, yeah, working hard in the shadows, except for my daily Instagram post. Just,
why did they not comment that? That'd actually be funny if they did that.
Yeah, they should.
I love it.
Actually,
Yeah,
what
we
I'm
gotta
looking
hire
forward
that
to,
person.
which New Zealand team is kind of known for, is the the village welcome, like into the village as the New Zealand team. You get like the haka done for you by the team, and um, there's this like Maori stone that you put your hand on and like choose a in at com games at least. You got to choose this little kind of like a little pendant thing, and at the Olympics it's a like it's called a punamu, like a New Zealand greenstone thing.
The Lord of the Rings cast got it.
Do they?
Yeah, because there's a great story on a talk show where Sir Ian McClellan talks about his punam that he wears it to. It's supposed to help you go back to New Zealand, but it gives you a bit of luck. And he wore it to the Academy Awards, and every single award that New Zealand was nominated, Lord of the Rings was nominated for, won, except for his, and he's the only one that won the punam. So then he went to get a beer, and he's like, oh, it didn't work. So it's a really good story, but that's a really cool thing. That and you told me about the haka this morning.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's the thing, because the people in the village already do the haka to the people coming into the village, which means I need to learn the haka by next week.
So we're going to see some George Beamish
I
haka.
don't-
Fuck yes.
Yeah, so that I don't embarrass myself.
What about Maya?
Yeah, and Maya also needs to learn it before next week, because at like the New Zealand pre-camp they have like they practice it as a team and stuff, so they're actually going to know how to do it. Because once I'm there and other people, we are coming into the village late, so there probably isn't a lot of people still coming after me, but then you do like a haka if someone wins a medal, or I don't know what the other occasions are, but it's really embarrassing if you don't know how to do it. So that's me currently. So I got to learn that this week while I'm in Zurich. There's like a little,
Wow.
and I got seen a couple of links, some videos, and hopefully some words.
We'll do some work. We'll work on that together, George. Ollie and I will help you train if we're allowed to. I'm not sure if we're allowed to.
Yeah,
I appreciate
I'm pretty educated in the haka. Akamate. Anyway,
That's pretty good.
Wait, so hypothetically,
actually,
sorry, I was just going to say, hypothetically, if you get there on day one, you could be doing like 10 plus hockers throughout your time in the village. If you're like welcoming everyone, you're like celebrating all
I
the
think-
medals.
some people are probably doing like 3 or 4 a day because it's like every person who comes in. But like you don't necessarily have to be at every intro. But then I think there's like a welcoming committee that definitely does all of them. Like more like the admin people for the New Zealand team, and then maybe just like whoever's staying right next to the New Zealand team. Or if you compete early on, I bet you just like immerse yourself in like supporting the rest of the team. For if you are just still in the village, like those people are probably just doing hakas all day.
Jesus, yeah.
I actually don't know. I'm making this
Love
up, but
You guys do your hakas, and we'll have our coffees and watch.
sing Waltzing
That's our
Matilda.
ritual. That's our welcoming ritual.
Honestly, Waltzing Matilda should be our national anthem.
Yeah,
It's such a good song.
I've seen videos of them singing it in stadiums. It's freaking sweet.
It's
actually.
amazing.
It's all
It
good.
hits hard if you're Australian. That one hits the hardest, I think, out of any of them.
Yeah.
Because Ollie, I think we do have a
That's
song, don't
actually-
we? I think we have some special Australian Olympic song or pledge, and I don't actually know what it is.
We do have a pledge.
I don't know it off by heart. Though.
I wish we would have more stuff in Indigenous. Like I remember when I was in school, we used to sing the national anthem in Indigenous language. I can't remember which one it was, but I wish we did stuff like that because I love how you guys do the Maori stuff in the national. I don't know. I think it's cool. So
At least our uniforms
Anyway.
now, I think, have a good amount of references they do a good job.
I don't
at
like our
doing
uniforms
things.
to be honest, but
Oh, really?
looks like we're high vis workers, not runners. Because it's like so. I hate yellow. I'm not a
Pick
big
the
fan
wrong
of
yellow.
and
It's the wrong yellow. Needs to be more gold.
It's more of a yellow than a gold.
We're green and gold.
It's
Why is
definitely
it?
it's definitely a yellow.
It's a high vis yellow. It's like a highlighter yellow. It's just so ugly. It looks just crap. The green always looks good. But
Yeah.
if it was green and gold, get the gold in there. Anyway, it's all right. When the coffee club sponsors the Olympic team, we'll sort it out with our merch because obviously this merch drop's going to be very successful. So
When it's mostly green, I think it looks too much like South Africa.
yeah,
I
No,
think that's why they.
but I prefer a gold than a
Yeah,
high vis yellow.
yeah, I
Agreed.
agree.
So
Agreed. Well,
We don't have those shit.
that's-
There's only one. There's only one mode of black.
yeah,
There's not too many ranges of black.
yeah, can't mess it up. But do you guys? So you guys are black and white. Are you guys ever silver and black though, or is that? Am I making that up?
Mm,
Do you have like the silver fern? No.
yeah, but it's just in the normally silver fern is just in white on a black
Okay.
shirt, or in black on a white shirt, I guess. It's never. We don't actually ever have anything that is silver colored. I
Okay.
don't think.
Fair enough.
Might be making. I might be. I'm kind of guessing here,
you
but I haven't seen anything silver.
No, there's been nothing silver, unfortunately.
Nothing at Com Games was silver.
Maybe not allowed to use silver and gold. Maybe it's a whole thing. Maybe that's why you have to go to colors
Ooh.
like yellow and black, because like gold, silver, and bronze are the metals. I don't know.
That's actually a plausible
I just made that up. I just made that up.
hypothesis. I would believe. I could believe that
Yeah,
a little bit.
I just made that up.
Lots of rumors being spread on the podcast today,
Yeah.
as we do. As we
Spread that
do.
one around.
Sweet. Well, is there anything else
Anything
to
else?
cover in our Olympic hype? I think we actually did a pretty good job. These over the internet episodes are always a little more tricky to coordinate and communicate, but I'm very excited that we will cross over in Zurich for a brief couple of days at the end of this week, as I go down there on Friday. So I'm looking forward to seeing you boys there. And once again, everyone go to coffeeclubpod.com, check out our merch. Put your orders in 1 week only. Get them in. Support the podcast. Support our world takeover, and just have fun with it because we're very excited to share this with you once again. So, we wouldn't push it if we didn't love it ourselves. So, yeah, I think that is that it for episode 147.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're all set for the next time. Hopefully, we'll be all together in beautiful Zurich.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. if
Or
we can get
zucchini is what I like to call it.
one more in.
The locals call it zucchini.
Locals only. But yeah, once again, thank you so much everyone for listening to the Coffee Club podcast, and we look forward to
Boys
seeing you
from
all again next
Coffee
week.
Club.
Ciao, ciao.